Amara always walked with a calm smile, the kind that made people feel safe. Her teacher said she had an old soul, wise beyond her years. At 17, she was the kind of girl who helped her classmates with homework, brought extra snacks for anyone who forgot theirs, and read big law books during lunch breaks. She wanted to be a lawyer, not just any lawyer, but one who fought for people who couldn't fight for themselves. Her dream started when she was 8, after watching her mother cry because a neighbor lied and took something that wasn't his. Since then, Amara promised herself she'd learn the truth, speak the truth, and protect the truth. Beside her always was Tari. Tari was bold, loud, confident in a way that filled every room she walked into. Where Amara was quiet like a soft song, Tari was like a pop anthem, full of color and fire. They were different, but they fit together like puzzle pieces. Since they were 5 years old, they'd shared everything: pencils, secrets, silly dreams about growing up and living in a big house with a pool. They called each other sisters by choice. And for a long time, Amara truly believed nothing could come between them. At school, the teachers loved Amara. Even the principal, Mr. Adeyemi, always said, "If every student were like you, Amara, my job would be too easy." One afternoon, everything changed. The school had announced a life-changing opportunity, a special scholarship that would pay for college, books, and even a trip abroad. It was only for one student. Everyone whispered Amara's name before the list even came out. When the results were posted, Amara's name was right at the top. Tari hugged her so tightly it almost hurt. "You deserve it, sis," she said, her voice cheerful. "I'm so proud of you." But later that night, while Amara studied in her room, Tari sat alone in hers, staring at Amara's name on the list. Her smile was gone. Her jaw was tight. And her eyes didn't look proud. They looked jealous. She didn't say a word, but in her heart, something sharp began to grow. Something that didn't feel like friendship anymore. The day before her big scholarship interview, Amara woke up with a full heart. She had ironed her best white blouse and packed her notes the night before. This interview was everything. One step closer to her dream of becoming a lawyer. But when she got to school, something felt wrong. People were whispering, staring. Teachers avoided her eyes. Even Mrs. Beasy, who always smiled at her, just walked past with a frown. Then came the voice over the speaker. "Amara Okoye, please report to the principal's office immediately." Her heart thumped. Did someone get hurt? Was something wrong? When she stepped into Mr. Adeyemi's office, his face was hard, cold. "Amara," he said slowly, "do you have anything to say before we show you the evidence?" "Evidence?" she asked, confused. The counselor pressed a button, and a blurry CCTV video played on the screen. It showed someone in the principal's office, someone who looked like Amara. The figure opened the drawer, pressed in the code to the safe, and walked out with an envelope. Amara's stomach dropped. "But that's not me. I wasn't even," she began. "We found your fingerprints on the safe," the vice principal added. "And the missing envelope with the scholarship money was discovered in your locker this morning." "What? No, I didn't." Amara gasped. Nothing made sense. Her mouth went dry. Her hands shook. It felt like the ground was pulling her down. They didn't listen. They didn't believe her. Tari came running into the hallway, tears in her eyes. She hugged Amara, holding her tight as the other students looked on. "This can't be true," she sobbed. I know you didn't do it. Amara cried into her friend's shoulder, not knowing that the arms around her were the ones who pushed her over the edge. Because it was all a setup. Tari had sneaked into the office, wearing Amara's school jacket. She had learned the code by watching Amara months ago. She even used gloves, then wiped the safe with a cloth she had stolen from Amara's desk. She planted the money in Amara's locker and edited the camera footage with help from someone she paid. All of it, her idea. By the end of the day, Amara was expelled. She walked home in silence. Her parents didn't say a word. Her father's face was tight with disappointment. Her mother cried in the kitchen. And just like that, everything Amara had worked for, her reputation, her dreams, her future, was gone, shattered like glass. And behind her smile, Tari was already planning her own scholarship interview. After the day she was expelled, Amara's world became quiet. Not peaceful quiet. The sad kind. The kind that presses down on your chest and makes your room feel like a prison. No one talked to her at the market anymore. Auntie Kike, who used to give her extra groundnuts, now looked away. Her classmates stopped texting. Her teachers never called. But what hurt most was her family. Her little brother, Chuka, wouldn't sit beside her during dinner. He didn't ask her to help with homework like he used to. He just stared at his plate and ate fast. Her parents didn't say much either. Just sighs. Heavy, tired sighs. Every night, Amara cried into her pillow, asking God the same question. Why would someone do this to me? She didn't leave the house for days. She stopped brushing her hair. Her books stayed closed. Her scholarship dreams, gone, like smoke in the wind. While she hid in the shadows, Tari shined in the light. The school gave her the scholarship. Everyone praised her for staying strong after what her best friend had done. They said she was brave for speaking kindly about Amara, even after being betrayed. She smiled on the outside, but Amara knew that smile now. She had seen the crack in it once, and soon she'd see more. One night, Amara sat by her window, her heart too heavy to sleep. The air was still, the sky full of stars. Her neighbor's house, Tari's house, was just a few meters away. The window was open, and voices floated through the night. You promised no one would find out, Daniel, Tari's voice whispered. Relax, a boy's voice replied, low and cocky. The girl's finished. Everyone believes it, even her family. Amara froze. Daniel, her ex-boyfriend. The same boy who broke her heart months ago. The same boy who once spent hours studying with her, promising they'd go to college together. Now, he was talking in the dark with Tari. About her. Her breath caught. You better not mess this up, Tari continued. If she finds out, everything's ruined. I worked too hard for this. Amara's heart pounded so loudly she was sure they could hear it from across the yard. In one moment, everything changed. She wasn't crazy. She wasn't guilty. She was betrayed. And for the first time in weeks, her tears weren't from sadness. They were from anger. A fire had been lit, and Amara was done hiding in the shadows. Amara knew she had to do something. She couldn't just sit in her room crying anymore. Not after what she heard. Tari and Daniel had lied. They stole her future, and everyone believed them. But now she had a spark of hope, and that was all she needed. She took her mother's old phone, one that still had a voice recorder, and hid it in her school bag. The next morning, she slipped out early and walked straight to the basketball court where Daniel usually hung out alone before school. Her heart beat fast. Her palms were sweaty, but she kept her voice calm. "Daniel," she said, stepping out from behind the gate. He jumped a little. "Amara, we need to talk," she said. At first, he tried to act innocent, but Amara knew what to say. She leaned closer. "I heard everything, the night you were at Tari's house. I heard what you said about me. I know you helped her." Daniel's face went pale. "You don't have proof," he said, trying to laugh. Amara smiled, just a little. "I do now." The phone in her bag had been recording every word. Daniel panicked. Okay. I didn't want to hurt you. Tari said it was just a prank at first. She was the one who took the money, not you. That was it. The truth." Later that day, Amara walked up to the house of the one person who had always believed in her, Mrs. Kemi, her literature teacher. Mrs. Kemi was shocked to see her, but when Amara played the recording, her eyes filled with tears. "I knew something wasn't right," she whispered. "We'll fix this, Amara. I promise." Together, they got to work. They rewatched the CCTV footage frame by frame. With the help of a tech student Mrs. Kemi trusted, they noticed something strange. The timestamp on the video was off by 2 hours. It had been edited. Next, they looked at Tari's social media posts. On the same night the money was stolen, Tari had posted a selfie at home, but the window behind her showed school lockers. She had lied about where she was. One clue at a time, the truth began to rise like the sun after a long night. Amara wasn't just proving her innocence. She was reclaiming her life. And she wasn't doing it alone anymore. The school's Excellence Assembly was packed. Parents, students, teachers, even the local news station had come to celebrate the year's best students. Tari sat proudly in the front row, wearing a shiny sash with "Scholarship Winner" printed in gold letters. She waved and smiled like a queen. Amara stood in the back, quiet but ready. Her heart beat like a drum. She felt nervous, but stronger than ever. When it was time for closing speeches, Mrs. Kemi stepped up to the microphone. She looked around the room, then said calmly, "There's something important we need to address before this event ends." The crowd hushed. Mrs. Kemi nodded to Amara, who walked slowly to the front with a flash drive in her hand. She plugged it into the laptop connected to the projector. The screen lit up. The speakers buzzed. Then came Daniel's voice. "Tari said it was just a prank at first. She was the one who took the money, not you." Gasps echoed through the hall. Tari's smile dropped. Her hands began to shake. Before she could speak, another clip played, this one a video. It showed Tari laughing with a girl from another school. "Honestly, I can't believe they still think Amara did it. I'm so good at this, it's scary," Tari said in the video, flipping her hair. "But aren't you worried someone will find out?" the other girl asked. Tari grinned. "Please. I covered my tracks. She's finished." The room went completely silent. No one clapped. No one moved. Even Mr. Adeyemi looked frozen. Tari stood up, her voice trembling. "It's fake. They edited this. She's trying to frame me." But no one believed her. The proof was too strong. Within minutes, School officials asked Tari to step outside. A police officer, already alerted by Mrs. Kemi, followed. She didn't smile anymore. She didn't wave. She just cried. Later, the principal took the stage and faced the crowd. "We made a terrible mistake," he said. "Amara Okoye was innocent. Her name is now cleared." People stood up and clapped, some embarrassed, some crying. Even Chuka, Amara's little brother, ran up and hugged her tightly. "I'm sorry," he whispered. Her parents came too, holding her close, their eyes full of regret. But Amara didn't cry. Not yet. Because even though the truth had come out, and her name was clean, her heart still carried the pain, the betrayal, the silence, the scars. But she was ready now, ready to heal. A week after the truth came out, Amara stood at the school gate once more. This time, no one whispered or stared. They smiled. Some waved. A few even apologized. Mr. Adeyemi shook her hand and said, "Welcome back, Amara. We're proud of your courage." Then came the news that made her breath catch in her throat. The scholarship committee had reinstated her. She was going to university. Her dream wasn't dead. It had just been sleeping. But Amara had changed. She wasn't just a girl with big dreams anymore. She was a girl who had walked through fire and come out stronger. A few months later, she was invited to speak at a local juvenile home, a place for girls who had made mistakes or been hurt by others. The moment she stepped in, she saw eyes just like hers, tired, searching, hopeful. She sat with them in a circle, not as someone better, but as someone who understood. "I was betrayed by someone I loved like a sister," she said softly, "and I thought my life was over. But I'm here to tell you, it's not over until you say it is." The girls listened, some with tears, some with quiet smiles. Amara's story didn't end in darkness, and she wanted them to believe their stories could shine too. Months passed. The video of her school speech had gone viral online. Soon, she was invited to a local youth conference. She walked onto a bright red stage, lights shining, cameras rolling. Her voice was clear. Her back was straight. She spoke with fire in her heart. "The day my friend stole my life," she began. She told the world how lies almost broke her, but truth made her whole again. She ended with the words that had become her anchor. "She tried to bury me, not knowing I was a seed." And the crowd stood on their feet, clapping and crying. Months later, on a warm morning, Amara stepped onto the grounds of her dream university, law school. She wore a simple dress, a backpack over one shoulder, and a brave smile. As she walked through the gates, her eyes sparkled. The sky seemed wider. Her future, brighter. A soft voice played in her heart, strong and sure. "She tried to bury me, not knowing I was a seed." And now, that seed had grown into something powerful. Something unstoppable. A warrior for truth. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories. Turn on your notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.